Okay, alright. So what's up everybody, this is Ruben Garcia and this is a beautiful day, and today on the Proven by Ruben podcast, we have Ginger Vereen. Hey Ginger.
Hey, how are you?
Thank you so much for coming through. Driving all the way from Raleigh.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you shooting by and just had a mastermind with our agents.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Good time.
And let me just jump right into it. What do you get out of doing those masterminds, going to different market centers or offices and talking to agents? What do you get out of that?
Well, it teaches me a lot about like myself, about having those conversations about systems and hiring with your agents. It kind of tells me things I need to work on, and I love to just share like what's worked for me, what's not worked for me, and so I can help them start out on the right foot or put themselves in a better spot.
Right.
Love meeting them, and then also referrals.
Yep, right. That's why you wrote your name, number, and email on the board, right?
That's right. Uh-huh.
So while you're talking, you're also kind of filling out the agents, figuring out how to, be in a position of a teacher or an instructor,
right.
And also getting some feedback to help you grow your business.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's awesome, and that's probably why we have to have you back.
All right, yeah.
I heard that you mentioned that you were going to go to see Grant Cardone.
Yes, super excited about that.
Oh my gosh, I could not imagine. I'm a huge Grant Cardone fan, Uncle G. What brought you to be excited about Grant Cardone and going to see him?
I read 10X. I'm actually listening to it again on my audiobook. I listened to it on my way here. And that book just really opened my eyes about thinking. I thought I knew a lot about mindset and thinking big and all of that, and he just took it to another level. So to see him in person, I think is just going to rejuvenate me, get me, just excited.
Yeah. What are some of the nuggets you took out of 10X?
One is that one I shared with my team last week is, getting into the real estate business, you're going to think that you're bothering people all the time for business. Yeah. And you probably aren't even doing it at a 1X level.
Right.
If you're going to succeed, you have to do it at 10X level. Yeah. Everyone needs to know every single day that you're in real estate, and you have to stop thinking that you're actually bothering people when you're not. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing so that they know when they think about real estate, they think about you. So that's one that I shared with my team last week.
What did they get out of that?
Well, it helped them because they, being most of our team is brand new in the business.
Gotcha.
They're like, well, I've already told my friends, so if they have a referral, they'll call me. Well, not if you don't continuously keep reminding them at a 10X level where it's always in front of them. They're not going to remember. So that kind of just made them feel more comfortable about keeping that conversation going, keep reminding people that they're in business, they need referrals, especially at this point as you get started. The support of your sphere is going to be really important.
That's right.
And you have to keep reminding them how important that is. It's not just a one-time, hey, I just got into the business and I'd love if you supported me. No, it's got to be continuous and it's got to be done at a high level.
Yeah, you can't hope for them to remember you, right? Because hope's not a strategy. Because you can be very strategic by setting up follow-ups and 33 touch campaigns and stuff that you talked about. And obviously it's worked. So for the people who are listening, can you share how much units you did in 2017, your production, so they get an idea?
Yes. So 2017, we were down from 2016. We sold 125 homes and 32 million.
Okay.
The year before, we sold 160 units, and it was 39 million.
Gotcha. So I'll ask the question that I'm sure everyone wants to know after that. But you're also 30 under 30.
Yes.
So that was a pretty cool accomplishment.
Yeah, that was. It was a big goal, and I was excited to get it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now going back. So you're down in 2017. What do you? Now we don't want to point at something else.
Right.
That's the reason why I'm down. Right. We look at ourselves. For you and your business, what happened in 2017?
So a couple pieces. One is we didn't hire early enough to support our goals.
Gotcha.
So we hired multiple people in the beginning of the year, and a lot of them, actually most of them didn't stay. So we had counted their business and our business, and they left.
Right.
And then at the end of the year, I had agents choose to leave the team, so there wasn't much production done because I didn't have a bench of talent to replace them. Had I had a strong bench of talent, there would have been no drop.
Right.
And so for me, it's learning that you have to have this bench. So if your team chooses to walk out, then you're prepared you don't skip a beat. Now, did we skip a beat? Yes. Did it actually set us up for far more success in the future? For sure.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, and that's the magic in those quote unquote failure moments, right? And it becomes magic if you do something about it.
Right.
Instead of just blaming others and not taking ownership and trying to figure out how can I make this better.
Yeah, and that's exactly Grant Cardone talked about today is you're going to fail and you want to fail fast and you want to fail often. And when we failed, it was excitement for us because one, we were out of business with people that we shouldn't be in business with.
Right.
And two, it gave us the opportunity to change things so that we're growing and we're challenged even more. Because I think failures are challenges that help you grow.
That's right. And that's a straight mind shift change, right? Instead of getting beat up in the moment, to really look at this as an opportunity and be thankful for it and have gratitude towards it so you can change it.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's huge.
Once you get over the 10-minute shock, you're like, okay, now how are we going to, one, change ourselves so this doesn't continue to happen?
Yeah.
Or two, change, the company and let's do it now. Let's get going.
Yeah. So I have a question. For the goals that you have in 2018, 2019, for some of the agents that I know that are growing businesses, what they do is they consult with, almost a Keller Williams model, they consult with the, like how KW would do it on the market center level, but they're doing it as an agent. So they consult with the agents who are on the team and try to figure out their motivation, their whys, and they want to fund it. And they find out how many closings that takes in order to fund this. Now, do you add up all the agents, the admin goals, and all that to come up with the Ginger and Company goal for the year, or do you have your own goal? They have to fit inside it. Talk to me about that.
Yes, so I develop our team goals because I want to see the team grow.
That's right.
So I develop our team goals and then our profit goals for the company, and then I take those units and fill my agents into those units.
Got it.
Based on their goals. So if we're lacking 50 units, I know I need to hire a certain number of people to get to where I want to go. So I let my agents make their goals first and then fill from the bottom from there.
Gotcha. Okay, so if an agent joins your team and says, my goal is to fund whatever, and it takes two closings in order for that to happen, do you have a standard of has to be 3 or has to be 4? Is that your opportunity to coach them up? Or?
So our standards you have to be on the team is you have to close 24 homes.
Got it.
On the buy side.
Gotcha.
And I think it's 40 on the list side to stay on the team, to get the value of the team.
Okay.
If you want to sell 24, that's awesome and amazing. If you want to sell 50, then we can get you there if you put in the work. So
that's right.
Their goals are their goals. Our standard is 24.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that makes sense. Now, are you seeing that, because you mentioned deepening the bench, right? And looking for talent and talent acquisition, which is huge. And in our last podcast, you got to listen to it, we got really deep into that stuff. Are you finding that the ones that see the standard as 2, they not only accept the challenge, but they want to exceed it in order to have more opportunity in your business?
Yes. Yeah, I would say most agents on the team are setting much higher goals. They're really pushing themselves to reach a higher level than 24.
Gotcha. So how do you, for the people that are listening that are looking to, they're already into real estate, they're starting to look into building a team, they're not sure how to do it, what are the signs, what should they be looking for that says, white flag, time to start building leverage?
So for the admin hire first, it's when you're doing things that, one, are taking away from your quality of life. So you're working from 9 to 11 at night on paperwork, or you're putting signs and lock boxes out on the weekends. And when it starts to really affect your quality of life, that you're working all the time, that's when I would hire. And if what you're doing can be done for much cheaper, and you can focus your efforts on either on your clients or on building your business or somewhere else, that's when I would start to look for leverage.
And that's what you did.
Yep.
And so where are you at now? What does the business structure look like?
Right now?
Yeah.
Today?
Yes.
We have 2 full-time admin.
Okay.
And we have a buyer's agent that just moved over to a listing agent. She's experienced and been in the business. And then we have 4 buyer's agents.
Okay,
so we have 6 sales people, and 5 of them are new to the team within the last 90 days.
Gotcha. And see, I understand that model, right? Because it's going to be not only leverage for you to make sure that you want to reach other goals, and we'll probably talk about that here shortly, but for others within your business to reach their personal goals. Now, traditional real estate says that you are the person who should do it, everything.
Mm-hmm. That would be bad.
That would be bad.
Right.
Can you talk to me about why that would be bad?
Well, there's things that I'm good at, and there's things I'm not good at, and I'm very good at realizing that there are people stronger than me in certain things.
Right.
So if I can find that person who's going to do it stronger and more effective than me, then it makes sense to put them in that seat on the bus and take me out of it. And if I think everyone should have their one path or one thing that they are focused on and they become a master at. It's very difficult there's very successful individual agents.
Right.
And I think it's very difficult to grow and continue to grow as an individual agent, because you're never becoming good at an expert at one thing.
Right.
And you can only go so far with the hours in the day.
You're gonna cap out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for you to recognize that and actually start moving forward and starting to build a business, not only is it, like you said, you're bringing more time back into your life, you can scale to a higher level. Mm-hmm. Would you say your clients are giving much better service?
Yeah, clients are getting much better service, a lot more referrals, and they're getting a team experience. They're not just getting me running around trying to be everything to everyone experience.
Have you dealt with a client that's dealt with a traditional real estate agent? They're going to do it all. They come to your business. Have you had a client that did that, and what kind of review did you hear? Like, wow, that was way different. Like, talk.
We have that a lot, and there's a lot of times where we're up against, a individual agent on the buy side or the list side. So we have to be sure, to present what we do and sell why the team is important. But on the end of the transaction, they've just said, it functioned more as a business. There was multiple. There were multiple people. They all were in communication. It was very seamless, very organized, and I don't know. It's always been positive.
Yeah.
No one's come back and said, "Man, I really wish I would have stuck with my individual agent to sell my house and buy my house."
That's right.
They'd rather work with 4 people, because on our team, to sell and buy, you're going to work directly with 4 people.
Right.
They've never said, I wish I could go from 4 people to 1 person.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, with them being treated, because could you imagine someone going into Harris Teeter and there's 1 person running the whole thing?
Right.
How the heck would they get? They wouldn't. Their customer service would go down.
Or doctor's office. That's
doctor's office.
Analogy
Lawyers.
we use a lot. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. And it's all expectation setting.
Yeah.
That's why we do our buyer consultations. That's why we have our listing presentations. We don't run out to show the house, because then we have no opportunity to set expectations with them, tell them how it's going to work with our team. By that time, you've showed the house, and you're writing an offer, and there's no expectation setting. So it's all about setting the expectations up front. This is how it's going to work. You're going to work with this person, and then you're going to move to this person. And if that's set clear up front, then there's no issue. Because I know some individual agents get concerned about hiring, let's say a closing coordinator.
Right.
And they have to go pass their client on to the closing coordinator. Their client's not going to like to get passed around. But the client doesn't care if the expectation's set up front. If they know how it's going to work, they don't care, and they enjoy it because they have somebody, a professional in the closing process to help them.
Yeah. And what we're finding is that clients are not only just in love with you, they're in love with your standards that you've set in place.
Right.
And if you can set those same standards to your closing coordinator, your contract to close, your listing coordinator, or whatever, then they're still going to be serviced to those high standards and still be happy the whole time.
Right.
Because now you have someone who's focusing on the one thing and just doing it probably at a higher level and at higher standards that you were presenting at first, doing it all yourself.
Yeah. For me and my business, I don't want anyone to be in love with me.
Right.
Because if I get hit by a bus and I'm in the hospital for 3 months, I don't want the business to start to fail or drop because people were in love with me.
Right.
People are in love with the the team, the experience, and the standards that they know that you've come to our team, you're going to get it all the way across the board.
Yeah. And that brings up a good point, because if they're just in love with you and something happens to you and the clients leave not only you but the team, now everyone who has joined your team to help build their vision while help building your vision, now we're letting them down because they're no longer in love with the team, they were in love with you, and when you're gone, no more business is coming to the team. So you're really being very non-selfish when you say, I don't want this thing to be all about me.
Right. Yeah.
So you're starting to leverage yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
The next opportunity you're looking to do in your business is hire a CEO, or?
So the next step will be that I step out. So my MAPS coach is really pushing me to step out of listings in July.
Okay.
And hire a director of operations to run the admin side.
Okay.
The systems side of everything.
Gotcha.
So right now we don't have that systems person.
Yes.
We have 2 amazing admin who are making systems work.
Gotcha.
Not their one thing either.
Right.
So right now I need when I step out of the listings, I can be director of sales. So I will do all the hiring, training, teaching, coaching of our sales staff.
Yes.
And the director of operations will hire the admin, do the systems, and we'll make sure that they are working together.
Okay.
So that would be the next kind of step.
Gotcha.
That would probably take us into sometime next year.
Okay.
And then we'll move on up.
Yeah.
Move on forward.
Yep. And what does that look like moving forward for you?
So I want to get to a point where those 2 pieces are running seamlessly together, because if they're running together, everything else is going to be running together.
Right.
So at that point, I need to have a baby. So I'm going to step out at some point. And
I feel like that's happening all over the place.
Everyone's having babies. I want to be able to step out and enjoy that experience.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Come back in, and then from there, I will want to move into another leadership role within the company.
Gotcha.
Or in the business. I don't foresee myself staying running my team forever, but I'm not 100% sure what that looks like yet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though, because as you do things like that, right, you not only build more opportunity for you, but you build more opportunity within your business.
Mm-hmm.
Now someone can have the opportunity to run a very successful, and how much in GCI?
Right under $1 million last year.
Okay, so it's almost $1 million business someone has the opportunity to run.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool when you not only apply or put yourself into a company or wherever that has a large enough vision for you to grow in, because as you grow, you allow others underneath you to grow inside your business. It's just cool to watch.
Definitely, and they can grow their leadership skills and become, leaders of whatever department that they're in. So there is a lot of growth opportunity.
What would you say is the number one skill that you're looking to sharpen in your toolbox?
I would say, as a leader, fierce conversations.
Okay.
Making sure that we're having those, that they're happening both ways, where my agents or my admin feel empowered to come to me with fierce conversations. And I'm also having fierce conversations with them when it needs to take place.
So trust has to be there.
Yeah.
In order for them to feel comfortable to even have that fierce conversation with their.
Because if they're going to have fierce conversations, they're either going to have them this way or they're going to have them that way.
So they're going to happen.
Yeah, and when they start to go this way, they're having these complaint conversations with the other agent, or they're talking down about you to the other agent. That just.
There's no solution in that.
No, that's just not good. So. Empowering them to come to me when there's issues, or when they're not happy with something, or they have suggestions, making sure it's both ways.
And when they do that, and correct me if I'm wrong, when they do that and it's reasonable, it's not just something cray-cray,
right?
But it's something reasonable, and you actually put something in place in the system, and there's a solution that happens, you're building more trust, you're building a better culture within your company. I love
more buy-in from. Like if an agent comes to me and they say this ISA system isn't working, well then we figure out how to make it work better for them, for the ISA, and for myself.
Yeah.
So now they're getting input on those things versus them just complaining.
Right.
And then everything goes cray.
Yeah, cray. So So I'm building my own coaching business, right? 3 months in the game.
Awesome.
But I've had someone sit down with me yesterday and they weren't happy. One, I appreciated that they came to me and they talked to me about it because I love, and this is weird, I love moments like that because here's the opportunity that we get to build in our business.
Right.
And not only that, I found out she's probably sitting on the wrong seat and on the bus. She was never going to be happy anyways.
Yep.
And so she's looking at more of an admin position. She loves ISA. She loves cold calls.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting breed.
I know. And I was like, there's a demand. There's people that want that on their teams. So having that first conversation where she, one, allowed me the opportunity to I guess there was trust in that moment and we had that conversation. But we were able to find strengths and weaknesses, and now she's going to probably be sitting on the right seat in the bus. She's going to be a lot happier. She's going to help the team grow. But I think that's super important. She could have just walked out
and she almost did. That, yeah.
She almost did.
Very important.
Yeah. But it's cool to have that trust and have that conversation.
Definitely. Important.
Yeah. So, for you, I know that and for whatever reason, I just want to see what it's going to be because it's fun watching you grow, right?
I have a lot. We want to get to 500 units in Raleigh. So that's gotta happen. There's so much business in the market that we're not, we did 125 units last year and we were, number 26 in the MLS of 12,000 agents.
Wow.
There's so much business.
Still,
there's 30,000 transactions. We did 125,
Yeah,
that's
a big pool.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Not bad, but there's a lot of room for growth.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty focused on pushing us to get to that 500 number, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And we're going to get there.
Did that come through reading the book and the 10x level and really pushing to a higher level?
Yeah, well, Keller Williams has expansion and, that's interesting to me. And we've talked, and this market is interesting to me because of the connections I have here. And there's 30,000 transactions being done in my market. So it doesn't, for me right now, it doesn't make sense to start expanding into other markets when I'm doing such a little teeny piece in our market. So.
Right.
And 500, that just sounds like a good number. So
let's shoot for it.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
What's that? 3 million in GCI maybe. So.
That could fund a lot of other people's lives too.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the cool thing about business.
Yeah, I do. I really have enjoyed. There's been a lot of people that have come on the team, and they're still on the team, or people have come on the team and left the team, where they've paid for their wedding in cash. They paid all their credit card debt off. They bought a house, bought cars, these things that they have wanted so badly, and they've come in such a rough spot.
Yeah.
And they've been able to achieve those things. That's the part I like, watching that happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're building a legacy. You're changing family trees. By building this business.
And the faster we can get to, this 500 number, then the more lives we can change. There's agent that just joined me, the one she sold 10 last year, and she's going to knock it out of the park and have a much bigger life for herself. And by coming on the team, and we were able to provide that for her. So there's a lot of people too that don't know those opportunities are out there, and we need to help them.
Yeah.
Or they're going to get out of business, or they're going to just pull their hair out.
Yeah, that's right. Or we'll have a fierce conversation, find out they're on the wrong seat, put them in the right seat.
That's right.
Okay, so would you agree that stronger systems are going to help you reach that 500?
Definitely.
Who are you looking at that has strong systems that you want to almost mimic or shadow?
So Ashley Wilson's teams, she's my coach too.
Oh, nice.
So she's very systemized. She has a good system brain that I don't have. Shadowing Lance Logan's team at the end of the month with the Grant Cardone thing. So he's very systems minded, systems operated. I think that those are the two pieces that are missing right now: is the systems to get to a higher level, and the people to get to the higher level. The leads are there. We have, selling 500 houses, you have the database, you have the cold leads. The leads are there. Stronger systems and keeping up with the hiring piece.
Gotcha.
Are the two missing components.
Yeah. It's pretty cool that you are surrounding yourself with people who are willing to share that because in this industry sometimes it's very cutthroat and it's like, no, I'm not sharing how I'm doing this.
Right.
So it's pretty cool that you're surrounding yourself with those people.
Yeah. We have to think, even sharing here, I can share the best secrets in the world, secrets people think are secrets, and it might be just a little system that needs to be put in place, and one person will go put it in place. So no one, it's who actually does it that matters and puts it in place.
That's right.
Yeah. She isn't, though, it is awesome because she is in my market center, and she is, you know, quote unquote competition if you were going to say that there's competition. But here she is, you know, sitting down with me every week telling me, you need to do this and this, and you'll get here.
She's, if from an outsider looking in, with more of a, like a scarcity type mindset, right? Mm-hmm. They're looking at her like, oh my gosh, she's coaching her competition on how to beat her.
Right.
And it's, again, I applaud you, applaud the people that you surround yourself with, that there's such an abundant mindset. It's like, listen, there's how many transactions I did this month. Right? I can coach you to be the best. And by the way, like, that'll help us grow our industry. Mm-hmm. So it's, again, I'm just a nerd sitting on the outside watching this. It's really, really, really cool.
She's just, you know, she's just excited. She's like, this is going to work, and we're going to do it.
I know you're going to coach within your own business. Mm-hmm. Say that you get to, and I'm sure you'll never, you'll get numbers every once in a while, and I'm sure you'll still step in. This is down the road.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself moving into a coaching position where you're coaching people outside your team?
Yeah, I could see. I don't know if I would be the one doing, you know, 40 clients a month.
Right.
But, you know, 5, 10, I could see myself coaching.
What kind of coaching client would you look for?
Someone who's hungry, who's motivated, and who is coachable. I think that's a huge thing. Is are they coachable? Do they really want it for the right reasons?
Right.
Someone probably newer in the business or just getting started.
Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. So you would look more for the agents who are just now starting versus the more experienced ones?
Oh, I guess that's a good point. I guess I'm used to teaching the ones, coaching the ones that are...
That's your comfort right now.
So that's my comfort, yeah. So that's a good question. I guess, I don't know.
And the only reason why I bring it, and not that I'm sure you would enjoy that. And I think that you have a lot of value that you can give the more experienced ones, especially about if this is down the road, you're going to go through a lot of hiring processes. And by the way, if you listen to our other podcasts as well, the conversation for these business people always comes up that it's the hiring thing. And I think at that point, you're going to have a lot of experience.
Yep.
A lot of,
I already have a lot more.
Right? That you could give more experienced agents.
Yeah.
Because that would be one of the things that they're really trying to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. When I step out of listings sometime this year, my hiring is going to get real good.
Yeah.
It's going to be my one thing.
That's right.
And once it's your one thing, then you can really put everything in it to get good at it.
Yeah. So with you focusing on the one thing, what have you gotten better to saying no to?
Our training our agents.
You're saying
so
no.
I'm not the go-to anymore.
Gotcha.
As far as how do I write this offer? How do I negotiate this? How do I we've empowered my 2 admin to know they're who people go to now. So I'm able to say no to the let me have a minute, let me do this, let me do that, where I can focus on listings and hiring and coaching the team, not so much the little things that I used to get all the time. Can you help me with this? Can you show me how to do this?
Gotcha.
They are the leader. I've empowered them that they're the leaders of the team, and you go to them. So it's allowed me to focus more on other things.
Awesome. Which are business generating things that will allow more business to come in, to allow more coachable stuff to come in. So it's a strong one thing.
New hires coming in,
hires.
which grows the business.
So what else?
I'm getting married, so that's fun. I don't know.
So that's pretty cool.
I gotta do that. So.
When are you getting hitched?
In August.
August what?
28th. It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. Why'd you choose a
Turned
Tuesday?
Up on a Tuesday. Have you ever heard that song?
No.
It was cheaper.
Could you sing it for us? Okay. It was cheaper. It was cheaper on a Tuesday.
Yep.
Gotcha. Where are you getting married?
Key Largo.
Key Largo. Where's that?
Florida.
Florida. The Keys.
Yes. The Key. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's really cool.
I'm going to do that.
Yep. And that's why it makes sense that you see a baby coming down the road too, right?
Yeah. Only getting older.
Yep. And now that we're here in this personal life, you're supposed to bring your dog today.
I know. It's right. We wouldn't be able to have this nice. That would not happen. He would be not
all over the place.
The camera would be on the ground.
Well, this camera has seen a huge fly when I was interviewing Lee Vossi, which was a contestant on American Idol.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So this don't worry about the camera.
Yeah.
Camera sees some weird stuff.
It's probably good I didn't bring the dog. Maybe next time.
Yeah. I got some. Do you follow Tim Ferriss? No, he's a really good guy to follow. Oh. He's got, and I'm just going to look at this real quick. He's got some really cool questions, and if you don't mind, I'm going to fire some of them at you.
Oh, okay.
Cool?
Cool.
I'm going to them now. Should have had them pulled up. Guys listening, you can think, or I know you're writing down notes, so I'm allowing you to get this opportunity to write down notes. That's what I'm doing. All right. So, what do you believe separates excellent from average?
Mindset is one thing.
Okay.
Excellence versus average, I would say, is the mindset that the person has. Their commitment to it, they're bought in. Like, how committed are they to what they're doing will show excellence versus average. Am I answering the way that you're looking for me to answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what should change in their mindset in order for them to become, if they're average, in order for them to become excellent?
Well, I think reasons or results, the way that you're looking at things, are you looking at it in a result-oriented path, or are you looking at reasons why it's not working versus reasons how you can make it work, or reasons why it will work? If you're always in the reasons mindset, then you're never going to reach a place of excellence, because that's how average people think.
That's right. And that's why you invite those fierce conversations, right? Mm-hmm. Because now you're able to find a solution instead of just saying why it doesn't work.
Right.
And like you said, the communication's going to go somewhere. Yep. You just needed to come to you.
It's either going to other people on your team, or it's going home.
Right.
To their families, and that's not why you're...
That's no bueno.
No, that's not why you're wanting this business, so...
Yeah. All right, do you have a favorite failure that you believe has set you up for success?
Favorite failure.
The one that sticks out the most.
I would say this recent one with a lot of our team walking out.
Yeah.
They actually did approach that there were things not working, and then a process was immediately put in place to change it, and they just chose to 2 days later to separate from the team. So I think that was a favorite failure. Backing up from that would be, it taught me to watch out for those fierce conversations, to remind the value of the team, just like a market center is consistently selling the value of the market center to retain agents in the market center. Right. You have to consistently sell the value of your team, and remind people why did they join the team in the first place? Where has the team taken them, and where will the team take them? So those are conversations that have to consistently be had. So
and in this conversation should be a win-win, right?
Yeah.
Not only should they be getting a ton of value, you should be getting a ton of value out of the person that you're bringing into your business. Mm-hmm. But what would you say is the one thing that you would say is the most solid piece of value that you give to someone once they join the team? I would say empowerment.
Okay. Empowering them to hit their goals. A lot of and mindset checks, because a lot of people that join the team are like this.
Right.
Where they're in a good mindset, and then they are in a down mindset, and so teaching them how to think in a positive mindset, empowering them to believe in themselves, that they can do these things, I think is a huge piece of value that we provide.
Yeah. Because as soon as you start, and you must have said it 100 times about mindset. Even the book Think and Grow Rich, it doesn't say grow rich.
Right.
So you got to think first. You got to think differently.
It's teaching people how to think. If most people don't think like we think, they don't think big, and they don't think positive, and they don't have that kind of mind. So you have to teach people how to think like that. They're used to their job, where they went to work and they went home, and
all the way starting from grade school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're taught to think negatively when you're born. Yeah, so it's just teaching a different level, a different way of thinking. And then once I see people applying that level of thinking and embracing it, then I start to see them succeed. And they may not correlate it just like that. I know that I can see it happening though.
Yeah, and that's a coach's mindset, right? Because you're on the outside looking in, and you're able to kind of formulate a plan on how they can accomplish what they need to accomplish. Because while they're living it, while they're in it, they may miss it. But you, from sitting from the outside, you see it. Right. You know exactly where they need to be moving next, and that's where that empowerment comes from. Mm-hmm. Well, then I'll be joining your team tomorrow then. If you had 1 extra hour a day, what would you do with it?
Right now I'd work out.
Yeah?
Because I bought a wedding dress and I need to get into it.
I like how you committed it first, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I gotta fit in it. So right now I would be working out.
Yeah.
If it wasn't right before the wedding, I would be probably, personally, I would like hang out with my dogs.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy. Business-wise, I would be sending touches.
Yeah.
To our clients.
It's interesting you say that. You're the second person on the podcast that would allocate that extra hour to their dogs.
Well, they're important.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're my friends.
Says a lot about it, right? That's cool. So for everyone listening, how many dogs do you have?
I have 2.
2 dogs? What kind of dogs are they?
I have a German Shepherd, who's 3, and I have a Great Dane, who is a 1.5 years.
Yeah?
And I have a cat and 2 chickens.
Well, okay. So they all get along?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I see the Great Dane eating everything in sight.
No, actually the German Shepherd killed one of the chickens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was really sad.
Yeah. Did you get... I want to ask you to get another chicken to replace it. Not to say that the other chicken went... But
no, not yet. I'm waiting to see if the other 2 get eaten.
Okay. So we're just watching. So after... Now this is weird, right? So I got to go there. After... So are you just watching the German Shepherd, trying to find the moments that he is going to lunge or what, and just correcting it? And
well, we bought the chickens for the German Shepherd. So, not to kill.
Yeah, okay, so walk me through this.
So, the German Shepherd wants to herd everything. So, it's been bothering our cat a lot.
Okay.
And so, we took her to a trainer, and the trainer said we should probably get something else for her to herd, so we got the chickens. So, she has been doing very good with the chickens, and it uses her mental power just to know what they're doing and move them around and all of this.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, she killed one of the chickens by just pushing them around because they're so little, not actually like eating it. So she doesn't have like a mean attack mode. She just wants to herd them around the yard.
Right. Like a sheepdog, basically.
Yep.
Is all they're herding.
So they just need to get bigger, and then she can herd them everywhere, hopefully.
Yeah. And she'll have her own little tribe of chickens. That's interesting. If you visualize a German Shepherd walking down the road at the lead of the pack and have 100 chickens behind him.
Yeah, she'll definitely do that.
There's no way I would mess with that. I would walk out of the way. I would take a picture of everyone knows me on Snapchat and Instagram, and then I would leave.
Then you'd be out.
You'd need to put some kind of advertisement on your dog because everyone would take pictures and that would get your name out there just a little bit more.
I've thought about doing that for Wasabi because everyone takes pictures of him, but
Wasabi's the Great Dane?
The black and white one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy used to have a Great Dane, and for Halloween would have the Great Dane sit right next to him, and the kids would not come up and get candy out of the bowl because they were terrified of this horse that sat next to him.
Yeah. They're kind of scary looking, but they're actually big babies.
Super sweet. And that dog was super sweet.
Yeah, he's a big baby.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and I got another one for you.
Okay.
Purchases of less than $100 that have most improved your life.
Wow, that's an interesting question. This, I don't know. That's hard. Nothing's coming to my mind. I don't buy a lot of stuff. What do I use on a daily basis that's useful?
Well, it's maybe not even something that you use every day, but whatever's most impacted your life. So
books.
Books?
Yeah.
For less than $100? Okay.
That's I buy a lot. I do buy a good number of books. Oh, Audible, my monthly subscription.
I'm gonna have them sponsor this podcast because you're not the only one who said that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's $16 a month, and I use that consistently because then I can get through 50 books a year versus 20.
Now I know some people they speed up the process or they speed up the audiobook. Do you do that? Do you?
And if it's with the book, I'll speed it up even more. Like if I'm looking at the book,
Yeah.
I'll put it on like 2.5 because I can really roll through it.
So besides 10X, because you've already read that, this is just, you're kind of going right back through it.
Yep.
What other book are you reading right now?
I'm reading right now. I'm reading Millionaire Investor.
Okay.
Right now. Just finished Rocket Fuel again, Fierce Conversations.
Why Millionaire Investor? What
Fanatical Prospecting.
Fanatical Prospecting.
That's a good one. Our team just
amazing
read that
title.
one. Team just read that one. That's a good
Okay.
one. Well, we have 6 investment properties, so I just want to get that more.
Are they single family, duplexes?
5 are single family, 1's a townhouse.
Gotcha. Okay. What had you start focusing on investing?
Well, I bought a house in college that I still have as a rental.
Cool.
So I've had that as a rental for a long time.
Gotcha.
And I saw how quickly the mortgage was going down, and I was building my net worth.
Yeah.
And then I was able for a couple years to utilize the system that utilized it, where I would purchase and move every year.
Yep.
Because it was just me.
Yes.
And so then I didn't have to have such a significant down payment and all of that. So that allowed me to acquire a couple. And then now I'm just more proactive because we're in the house that we are in, where I can't move us around. Alan would kill me. So now looking at for opportunities in different markets to purchase. So I just purchased one in Rocky Mount that rent-wise made sense for me.
Awesome.
So I'd like to, my goal is to get that to 20 as soon as possible.
Nice.
Which we'll get there.
Yeah, which is happening, right?
Yeah,
what have you pulled out of the Millionaire Real Estate Investor? What has stuck out to you the most that you've applied?
Looking at things like not just getting attached to the one property and how that one deal can work for you. When you're going to purchase an investment property, you need to look at 20 homes to figure out which one's the best.
Right.
Some investors, when they're looking to purchase something, they'll get stuck on one versus let's compare all of these and see which is the best investment for me.
Gotcha. Okay, so looking at a lot more properties before just moving forward. Cool. All right, very good. So, what question do you have for me?
What's your favorite thing about being a productivity coach?
Watching people break through their ceiling.
Cool.
I really do. I think. Well, so it goes back to the thinking thing. Having a conversation about what they like to accomplish, why it's important to them, and then once we back up the numbers, for them to kind of build a plan for that, and they start working towards it, and then they fail, and they start falling. And then helping them through that process of really chunking it down and the things that they need to truly be focusing on, and then watching them break past that ceiling, because when they do, they're on top of the world. Like they could take over the White House if they wanted to in that moment. So to help people realize and accomplish things that they never thought they could have accomplished, that's the best.
Yeah, that is. I agree. That is awesome.
That's the best. Cool. All right.
Cool.
What question do you have for everyone listening? Because we are aiming for them to leave a comment. So,
cool.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
what question do you have for them?
What is your current one thing in your business?
Okay. What is your current one thing in your business? What's the one thing that you're focusing on?
Yeah.
Such by focusing on it.
Everything else
gets easier,
gets
or
smaller.
unnecessary. Yeah. Cool. So think about that, guys. What's the one thing that you could be focusing on in your business? Such by focusing on it will set up everything else to be easier or unnecessary. And I would challenge you to even look at your personal life the same way.
That's a good point.
Ginger.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's go get lunch.
Let's do it.
All right.
Now I am hungry.
See ya.
Bye.
Perfect.
Hopefully.
That was great. No, it was good. Bye.